Mikey, Buddha, and William Waffles.
I don't drink soda.
Chair scoot. Engaged. Hey, is your chair scooted?
Yeah, I got like a little joystick on here.
You know what's fucked up? I used to say, you really have a motorized chair?
Yeah, I've got a motorized chair. I have an electric bike now. I'm super techie.
Jerry, why does Ty have a motorized chair and I don't have a motorized chair?
Because I installed the motor myself.
Really?
I came in here on my own time with like a little motor, and a little lever, a little joystick lever.
Where'd you get the motor?
What's
it off of?
Tech Egg.
Tech Egg? A website or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And you attached it to the chair?
To this office chair, yeah.
To the office chair on the side of
chair.
the seat?
It's under the seat, actually. The motor's under the seat.
And how does it move the wheels? They're not connected to the seat.
Yeah, through the wiring
the seat?
And the
Did you install wheels too?
There's already wheels on the chair.
So you installed the motor and the joystick.
Well, yeah,
that's it. And the wiring.
The wiring, yeah.
Okay, all right.
There's no brakes.
Could you do mine? Later?
I mean, I could.
Or
yeah. Are you asking me like if physically I could, or are you asking me if I will?
Like if you're able to, or
yeah, I'm able
willing to.
Not
are
so
you
much
willing and able?
Not so much willing. No. You'd have to ask Jerry about that.
All right. Well, I mean, you figured out how to do it somewhere, or did you teach yourself?
Oh yeah, you could learn super.
All right. Yeah. Then I'll do that.
Cool.
I'll do that. I'll do that for sure. So, are you one?
That's the question every week. Now, am I 4 this week? Because I noticed there's, 6 inputs?
Yeah.
So I could be up to 6.
You could be.
I might be 6 this week, or...
You're 1.
I'm 1, okay.
Yeah. You know what really upsets me is that I wouldn't say used to say, but I have said on a few occasions, welcome to the Natural Habitat Podcast, the only podcast called the Natural Habitat Podcast, and I can't even do that anymore.
No, you can't. You definitely can't.
Because of this IP
theft. People just robbing us blind of our intellectual property.
But what I can say is that we are one of the Natural Habitat podcasts, if
several?
not the best.
I would say
most
the best.
Prolific, definitely.
Yeah,
prolific.
Definitely. We have the most established track record, the most episodes, probably the most following based on the low level imitators we've seen. I mean, it's not like we're seeing anybody credible stealing the name. It's all these just backwoods hicks, basically.
Yeah. Could you imagine if someone like what was Steve Irwin's daughter?
Bindi Irwin.
Bindi Irwin started a podcast called the Natural Habitat Podcast.
Man, yeah, it'd be way more popular than ours. She would have the name within a week.
We'd have to change our name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She would sue us.
Thankfully, Bindi Irwin, if you're watching this, I've said nothing but nice things about your father in the past. I've definitely made no stingray jokes. So please just leave our name alone. You can come up with something else. I'm sure you've got like a management team that can help you come up with a better name, the Natural Habitat Podcast. Please don't. Just leave the name alone. Just leave it alone.
Please. Something that rhymes with Bindi, maybe?
Yeah. It's windy with Bindi.
Yeah.
Like the wind.
Yeah.
The wind.
And it's all about Chicago.
Yeah. The Windy City.
The animals in Chicago.
Yeah.
In the Windy City.
Yeah. The rats and what have you.
Yeah. You could have that idea for free. Just please don't take our name. Please. Any other celebrities we want to tell not to take the name?
Yeah. Kanye, and I feel like Kanye is the type of guy that, like, if for some reason he saw this, which, like, he very well could be watching just random obscure things on the internet. If he saw this and saw our pleading to, for him to not steal our name, he'd probably go ahead and do it. So you know what, Kanye, you can have the name. You know what, take the name. I think Kanye West, I think you should take this name. You should run with this podcast theme, and yeah. It's reverse psychology. You see what I did?
Yeah,
I told him to
if
take
you tell
it.
him to do, he's not gonna want it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's classic Kanye. Everything we know about Kanye would.
Well, I do know that Kanye might be watching this in the future, but he's not watching it right now because we are watching Kanye. A live stream, which I guess we could say is live, right? Because people don't know when we're recording this.
Yeah.
It was at one point.
Sure,
Super recently, too. It was a couple days ago. Last time we talked about Kanye, he was held up in the Mercedes-Benz Center.
Yeah, they were possibly having to exercise some sort of eviction to get him out. We dived into that a little bit, but it seems he's still there, and he
has those twisty things, but he's not twisting them.
Does it look like he's got like a little bit more of a setup in there than he did last time we checked in on him? Like he's got a couple more chairs. He's got some sort of box.
So you could see up in this picture right here, that he had a bed.
Yeah, the cot's still present.
And the picture that we saw, he had a bed in it. And then at some point he pulls the bed out and puts in a bunch of chairs so people can come in. And then he replaces the bed later and goes to sleep. And that's when I ended up tuning in, was he was in bed. And it wasn't fun at all.
Apparently he's been trying on an assortment of different costumes. To me, they look like second tier Batman villains, like kind of like henchmen.
Yeah.
Like you got this spiky character on the left there with some sort of that looks like the remember the putty fighters from Power Rangers?
Yeah.
The putties. Yeah. So I think that's what he's going for there. He's definitely trying to
some sort of putty ripoff.
And then we got like a bulletproof vest and some sort of, what is that, like a lucha libre mask?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it, or like a shark's tail.
Yeah, maybe yeah. And then over here we've got just like a ski mask, tank top. I don't even know what look he's going for there, but apparently he's really going with the whole mask thing. He's taking it and he's running with it.
Doing the mask thing. He's doing some bed recordings. I mean, I haven't seen Kanye's face this whole time. I don't even know if it's Kanye.
I don't know if that is Kanye. Like, no. Isn't Kanye kind of pudgy?
Yeah, Kanye's
has he gotten
fat.
himself into shape?
Well, I mean, ever since he was no longer speaking through the wire or whatever, he was eating.
Yeah, yep.
And he's, he was
packing on the pounds for a while. He is freshly single, and I would imagine that's going to motivate you, to go out there, shed a few pounds so you can. But I mean, he's already going to have like women flocking to him just because of his clout. He doesn't need, if you or I broke up with our chicks, we would definitely have to hit the gym. But Kanye, I feel like his bank account and his musical legacy is enough to get him, some top tier strange.
Well, maybe that's the wrong kind of woman that he wants to get. Maybe he wants to get someone that goes after his looks.
His looks, yeah. He is a superficial guy, notoriously.
So, he was supposed to release Donda that night after the listening party where he did his interpretive dances. Mm-hmm. It didn't come out. It got pushed back. Then it got pushed back again. And I think one more time. Everything's been changing on all of his Apple Music and Spotify's. Everything's all blacked out. And songs are starting to download onto people's iPhones. You have an iPhone?
Yeah.
So if you follow Kanye or whatever on Apple Music, I don't know how it works. I'm on Spotify.
Yeah, I use Spotify also.
If you follow or subscribe or whatever,
they're just popping in and out or what?
Then it's already downloading onto your phone, but the files, you can't access them.
Oh. Okay.
So people are trying to jailbreak their phones.
Yeah, I mean,
and figure out how to get them.
You've got this guy. He's like a massive superstar, but he's also bipolar and has mental, problems.
And is going through God knows what kind of crisis right now.
Calling all the shots. You know what I mean? There's absolutely no label head or anybody that's telling Kanye what to do. He's superseded that level. So of course, there's going to be all this weird happenings with his record releases. It's actually happened in the past.
Yeah, and I saw one of the parts that I saw live was I guess during the first part of this live stream there was audio, and then the whole rest of it, this started streaming from somebody in Poland that was mirroring a phone that was there, and it was streaming somewhere online on some weird forum. And then that stream went down, and then another stream came up in Poland, and then that one went down, and then Apple Music said that they were gonna start doing their own stream because the first stream broke records. So they were like, yeah, we're gonna get in on the stream since everybody's Googling it. It was trending on Twitter and shit. So They started their stream. Eventually, they cut the audio because he had a producer there that was like working on the music. And he has like 6 or 7 guys in the room with him. They all come in and sit down. They play a song and everyone's like dancing way too much. And Kanye is like staring at everybody just longingly.
Sure. I mean, like,
trying
imagine
to see what their real reaction is.
I mean, imagine like, you know, like having Kanye's head. I mean, he's obviously, you know, got some issues, and just like constantly having to wonder like what reactions are genuine and what are people like, you know, gassing you up.
Yeah.
It would drive you mad. So, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of Kanye's mental state is justified by like his life. And that's why, like, I try to cut him a little bit of leeway, even though I don't agree with like all of his personal decisions or the way he goes about things. It's like, you know, I almost feel bad for him. Because I feel like at the core of Kanye is obviously this creative genius, but there's also like probably a decent person, at least, like not as shitty of a person as, you know, he comes off as.
In a lot of ways, he attempts to be a decent person, which is really the best that any of us could do, you know, is like try to be a better person. And he's shown throughout like his time in the public spotlight that he's tried to like better himself. He just doesn't know how to do it. He's gone through like so many different ways of doing it.
Yeah. That
it gets a little chaotic. But yeah, I think Kanye's a sweetheart deep down.
He's
and
a good guy.
Help,
he's a good, honest guy. I think he's a good friend.
He needs help releasing Donda.
He's a good friend. Possibly a good father. I don't know. I haven't been there for all of the parenting.
A good son.
Some of it I've been there for.
Good son, possibly.
At least through you know, the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, good son. I mean, his mom's no longer with us.
If he was in the film, the good son.
We can't ask Donda, hey, was Kanye a good son? So, I mean, really, that's, you know, that's all going to be speculation as well.
Well, do you see him, if he was in the good son, do you see him?
Is Macaulay Culkin or the other kid?
Yeah, Elijah Wood.
Yeah, it was Elijah Wood, yeah. Definitely Culkin. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Culkin for sure.
But yeah, it's like a part of you feels sorry for him and a part of you is waiting for the new album to drop.
Yeah.
So that you can hear the...
And then part of it, you just hate him.
Yeah, I mean,
he's very polarizing. You know what I mean? Like, most people have like either a strong opinion about Kanye or no opinion at all. There's nobody that's really like indifferent towards Kanye.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be crazy to see what happens. Now it's coming out on the 15th or the 13th or something like that.
Have you had any live streams about yourself this past week? You know, like maybe where you're in like a Batman costume or a Putty Ranger costume, or done any... What have you been up to this past week yourself?
Not that. None of that. I haven't done any live streams. And now that I think about it, I don't think I've worn any puffy costumes either.
No spiky costume? Any masks?
Masks? Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Because the mask mandate's coming back.
It is. It's making a... We're going to have to go back and delete that episode where we ripped our masks off and declared liberation.
Oh, yeah. We played Mask Off.
To be scrubbed.
We played that Molly Percocet Mask Off song.
Yeah.
We're going to have to mute that.
We're having to backtrack now.
I'm pretty sure YouTube already muted that for us now that I think about it. But, yeah, it's crazy to see this shit. And another person that, you know, you feel sad for is Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse. Now, this is crazy because you and I are both, juggalos. I wouldn't say.
Sure, I'll still say it. I'm a juggalo.
I mean, we're forced to say it. It's kind of like
these horrible tattoos on me. So I mean,
the only way out is in a box, Ty. Like,
yeah, it's.
That's what they mean by down with the clown till you're dead in the ground.
Yeah.
You'll get murdered if you try to leave.
Yeah. So I haven't attempted to leave. I've distanced myself. Mm-hmm. Maybe I've detached a little bit, but I still follow it and I still remember the good times, the peak years. But definitely, it's kind of a sad state of affairs currently with the ICP.
Absolutely. And I remember back in the day, it was like a whole thing, and it was this whole private exclusive club that like losers could get in.
Yeah.
And And then I remember when it started turning into like, oh, this is a gang. This is gang activity.
Yep, and they took that ball and ran with it and kind of really hyped it and like built
and we're
it
like,
up.
no, we're not a gang, we're a family. And they're like, yeah, that's what mafia says. The gang, the gang, the mafia, America's mafia, or Italy's, I'm not sure. And then I remember the day when I found out that we indeed were an actual gang. And then I was like, oh,
I'm out. This has gone too far
we're a
for
gang.
me.
And then slowly throughout the years, I like kind of withdrew myself from the gang. But me saying that right now might put a mark on my head.
There may be some juggalos and juggalettes coming for you right now. Now, I imagine they wouldn't be like the most savvy and well-trained like squad of hitmen that you're going to encounter.
No.
So
and they're going to be easily distracted.
Yeah, so you might, like be able to worm your way out of the situation. I'm not thinking that it's going to be like the end of you, but
it's like a 250-pound white girl with like a Violent J and Shaggy Two-Dope face paint tattoo on her lower back.
Yep, that's it. But anyways, yeah, these guys are all, I mean, they appear to be like in their 50s now. It's just like, it's not a good look anymore. You know what I mean? Like the middle-aged guy in an oversized hockey jersey, a ball cap, talking with, kind of a, like the Juggalo speak. I mean, if you're not familiar with it, then like we're not gonna give you a whole vernacular breakdown.
Let's play a little bit of it, and they could hear exactly what you're talking about.
From all over,
isn't that fucking
we are
crazy?
gathering for the epic family reunion. We're talking about Shangri-La on Earth happening in what, 2 fucking weeks?
Okay, so they're in this kind of like church setting. It looks like a televangelist kind of church.
I mean, really, yeah. You just got some nice chairs and like a curtain and some Christmas lights, a banner,
a shitty banner that's poorly hung.
Yeah, I mean, they're really not doing a whole lot with that decor.
Yeah, this bush in front of the TV. So they're in this little setting. Shaggy has this jug of water or milk or whatever.
Yeah.
And what's this?
So basically, this is like a video where they're announcing the lineup to their festival that they have every year, minus last year because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And traditionally, like it brings in some big names.
It's a huge
some
like,
bands that you wouldn't necessarily
festival.
associate with ICP, and it's just this big thing. And it's always, even from outside the Juggalo community, kind of become like this mythical festival that happens every year. Gosh, like, I mean, they've had some big artists, you know what I mean? Like, they have had Ice Cube, Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, like all these big non-Juggalo artists. And this year, I mean, I don't really know what to say about the lineup this year. It's far from that. So,
so I'm pulling up like just a random lineup.
And that was like an old one, too. And like, even the old one was like way better. I mean, you've got...
Yeah, this is
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
I looked up 2018.
Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, Bone Thugs. You got
the
Guar,
Aladdin Parrot,
KRS-One, Jedi Mind
Tricks,
Tricks, Tech 9, Suicide Boys.
So yeah, you had some
Token was there.
I mean, Ritz. Even Ritz is bigger than any of the clowns that are on it this year.
Yeah, and that's not counting all these guys. Odd Squad.
Yeah, so basically
like
this year it's
now.
just the small print guys. There's no headliners this year, and the ICP appears to be, like,
there's even some pretty good ones in the small print. Rehab's in here. Twisted Insane is in here. King Spade, that's a thing, right?
It was at one point.
Mad Child, yeah.
CNC Music Factory. Holy shit, they had CNC Music Factory so that's like a crazy lineup.
Yeah, I remember the year that we went. I saw fucking George Clinton and the Parliament perform like a full stage show with all the animatronics, and they flew in like a flying saucer that everybody got into at the end, and it like went out, and it was like a whole part of the show. And I saw like a fully like festival version of them performing, not just like what the show would have been at like Slow Brew or something like that, So there's big artists usually at these festivals. Then they skip a year, and then nobody really cares about these guys anymore. And their lineup is horrible. But what I want to focus on in this video is Violent J, who is the guy in the middle, who for some reason doesn't have a microphone and isn't allowed to get a word in, which I think we'll find out why soon.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn!
Man.
Yes. And we are going to share all the secrets going to be revealed tonight. We're going to go through the entire lineup, all the flavor that's popping off.
You know the whole lineup.
We're about to learn as you fucking see this shit. We're learning as well.
Literally signing acts today.
Right? That's not even a fucking lie right there.
Okay. You could see it right there.
Right? That's not
Look, yeah, he's
The
like,
look.
We're learning it.
So Violent J is obviously high as fuck on something. And he's all sporadic. So they cut his mic, so he decided to just scream so other people's mics would pick him up. And you could tell that they were arguing before they started shooting.
100%.
And now they're trying to play it cool.
Yeah, I think that they probably weren't even planning on having Jump Steady host this thing, but Violent J showed up completely incoherent and unable to lead the shit, and they had to, call an audible.
Yeah, it seems like he's in there very forcibly. Which is probably why Violent J doesn't have a mic. They probably had it set up for 2 mics. And they pulled him last minute. And then Jump Steady was like, look, I'll do it. I'll get in here.
As well.
Literally signing acts today.
Right? That's not.
A little head shake.
Mm-hmm. Back it up. Let's actually play that.
That's not even a fucking lie right there.
Signing
One more
acts
time.
today.
Right? That's not even a fucking lie right there. Like I said, the ink is barely dry. One of the things I want to point out before we get into the flavor is what I
Jump
love
Steady's
about
old.
the Gathering this year is
And you're right,
straight
why are you
up
talking like
everybody
that?
that's a part of the Gathering
Yeah,
this
it
year,
just doesn't- it's
they
not a good
fucking
look.
wanted to be a part of the Gathering year.
That's why it came together so quick.
They're reaching out to us, super
That's why it came
excited.
together so quick.
There's nobody here for a paycheck.
Oh yeah,
The
See, and, like,
fucking,
that's like another thing
the
is like
karma
they've always like kind of taken pride in the fact that they were able to land these outside acts, and here they're like, oh, this year it's extra special because nobody's here for a paycheck.
Everybody
Probably meaning
wants to
that
be
nobody's getting a paycheck because
Yeah.
you don't. I mean, it's sad. It's obviously
Yeah,
been
the follow-up is
a
sad.
big decline.
Yeah,
Obviously,
because
like last
everybody
year
here
because
right
of the
now,
pandemic,
super
they
love
didn't
for the
have a
Gathering.
gathering, so
Super-
they couldn't bring in that revenue to support the next gathering.
Yeah.
So,
It probably fucked it all up.
excited
yeah,
to be here.
I'm sure.
And that
I'm sure it was
brings-
a
This is a
fragile
lineup
ecosystem.
of juggalos.
Right.
All the bands signed.
Yes.
All the acts performing.
I mean,
it really is a come together of all juggalos.
Just what Rob had just said to me sums it the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody,
What Rob
at
just
every
said,
one of the
and not
stages,
what Violent J
everybody
just
you
said.
see there performing in any fucking aspect. They voluntarily want to be there. Nobody's like, yo, okay, well, I need fucking D.
Right.
No deal then, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's like, fuck yeah.
Nobody's like, just for the record, I'm not a juggalo.
And that's because you've got no
Right.
big acts.
Yeah, you ain't got to hear none of that. bull-
You should drop the little flyer in there. Yeah, so you can see. I mean, it's just a who's who of nobodies. I'm surprised they didn't get Tom
Yeah.
McDonald.
And I mean, even back in the heyday when it was big, they were the worst with, I mean, I heard stories from everybody when we were there. And then plus our deal was we had won the Sugar Slams demo jams, which she was Violent J's short-lived like wife for a while.
Yeah.
And we entered Sugar Slams demo jams. And we made like a CD with the Sugar Slam logo and her picture on it and everything, like with our song, and sent it in. And it blew Violent J's mind. And he was like, I thought you had to make like 10,000 copies of a CD. How did they make this? Like, and he didn't know that you could just make a single CD
Right, yeah.
at Kanaki.
Yeah, Kanaki, yep.
So, fooled them. And then they played it. We won this contest. And then, well, we got up to like the finals and then they stopped doing the show for whatever reason. And then they were like, okay, both of the people in the finals win. So you both can come. I want to say it was us and like Freddie Grimes, this other Juggalo rapper guy. So they were like, you guys can come and perform at the Gathering. That's your prize. So we're like, dope. So they're all, give us your information. We'll get it all set up. So we drive across country to go there. And we already know that we're not going to get paid. We're just going to get in for free.
Right. Yeah. You just want the gathering experience.
Yeah. And the experience and the exposure. So we drive literally through like 8 states over to
Across the
Illinois
country,
from
yeah.
California.
Yeah.
And show up, give our name. And there was 4 of us in the group, but 5 of us went. And we told them that 5 of us were going to be there. And we were given 2 passes. And they said, here are your 2 passes. And we're like, well, we won the contest. We're a group.
There's 3 more of us. What about these guys?
What about these guys? And they said, no, if you want them to get in, then you have to buy. So we contacted the people that we were in contact with to get the passes in the first place. And we're like, hey, we're here. They're saying we only get 2. We told you 5. You said it was good. And they were like, yeah, I can't do anything. So you're just going to have to buy tickets. So we had to buy 3 general admission tickets at $150 a pop.
Oh, shit.
Which took all of our money that we had for the trip and the drive home.
Oh, no.
So we didn't have any gas. We ran out of gas like 3 states away.
Oh, shit.
And we had to get money wired to us. Because we had to pay to get into this festival that we had won the rights to perform at. And then had to buy everything once we got in there. We didn't get free food. We didn't get access to anything.
Basically nothing.
We got nothing. We got swindled. Because 3 people buying tickets is better than no people buying tickets.
Yeah, it was almost like.
Then I realized everyone that was at the gathering was all friends and family of people that had entered contests at Psychopathic.
Watch, there's just all these contests going. And,
Yeah.
you know, like they pull this
It's a trick.
Yeah. And that way they get, you know, for every 2 people that they let in for free, you got 3, possibly more of
Like-
an entourage buying tickets.
Do you remember the Team Backpack, like Mission Underground that they did?
Yeah.
I remember I entered that and I won, allegedly. And then someone else that I know that also makes music that's much, much poorer than mine also won. And then I kind of was suspicious at that point.
So now might be a good time to announce the Natural Habitat Podcast next big rapper contest, which we've put a lot of time and thought into. So basically, what you're going to want to do is send in your demos, your best songs. You know, anybody that makes music, it doesn't have to be rap. That's, you know, what we know the most about, but we're willing to, you know, as long as you send in those demos along with the $25 or
Entry fee.
yeah, entry fee. We're going to prioritize those that send in the $58 seed money.
Yeah.
So, you know, like if you send in the full seed amount that we've been asking you for, your entry is going to go to the front of the line. Oh, yeah. Okay. So what is that? That's $82. Is that 80? Just send in about $80. We'll call it cool at 80. Send us about $80 and your best material. And what we're going to do is we're going to listen to all of the songs, probably. I mean, we're going to skim through them.
Yeah, privately.
I mean, we'll hear them. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to select the top 5. At that point, I'm thinking I'm not thinking, we've already established this. It's on paper.
We were thinking.
We're thinking we're going to have like a showcase, like a festival showcase at a location to be disclosed later, where you all get to perform. And then obviously you have to pay for admission to that, just no different than the ICP festival. It's kind of the industry
regular
standard
showcase
here.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you pay for the showcase, you perform, and then there's going to be a grand prize for the winner.
Yeah. And the winner, it really all depends on how many people cheer for you. So feel free to bring your friends and family.
Exactly. And now they are going to have to pay an entry fee. Obviously, that's standard with the show. But
we're talking 2% off your first guest.
I didn't know, but you're blowing my mind now.
Yeah. 2% off your first guest. Bring as many people as you want. And all these people, you get special green passes if they're in your crew, you know, for an extra $5.
Yeah.
And that gives them access to the bathrooms.
Now, I'm thinking there's VIP packages also. And
of course,
VIP packages,
of course,
they're going to run a little bit more. I mean, you're looking at maybe $150, $200, but you're also going to get a t-shirt. It's going to be like a cool design that we came up with. Maybe we print them. Maybe we just draw on some t-shirts. Maybe like a special area where you can smoke cigarettes, like a smoker's lounge, like a designate. Actually, that might not be legal. So we can't can't guarantee that, but we're gonna work on it for you. And then
Put some music to this, to our infomercial.
yeah, what else can we offer?
We can give them exposure. Did we say that?
Yeah, we also might go. Remember how like Taco Bell would have like those packs of like 20 tacos, 20 burritos for like $9.99.
Yeah.
We get a bunch of those and we feed people tacos and bean burritos. I mean that way like there's some sort of food there. Yeah? No? It's
Yeah.
going
yeah.
over budget here.
I mean, possibly, but maybe everyone.
There
could,
might
like,
there might be tacos and burritos. There might not.
maybe, but yeah, I think that there's just like a huge opportunity for anybody. So send in that $25. Send in your song, or it doesn't even have to be. Even if it's any sort of art at all. If you draw, if you could do a front flip.
It could be like a real broad talent contest. You know what I mean? Like kind of like America's Got Talent.
Yeah, just kind of a whole slew of things. And if you have any sort of talent, skill, or just
I mean, even if you just want to
us,
send in the money, you're still going to have an equal opportunity to win this thing.
yeah, it's like a raffle.
I mean, it basically is.
Yeah.
I mean, we might just pick it at random. So.
But you get access to buy tickets to the event before anybody else, which is good.
Yep. You get pre-sale access and also, potentially a taco.
So, yeah, this fucking gathering is a disaster.
So yeah, screw the gathering. If you're planning on going, I would definitely save your money. Come to this event that we're going to announce more details on in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to do our new segment?
Oh yes.
All right. So we have been talking a lot on the show recently about Matt. So we have a new segment, and it's all about Matt.
All about Matt. I just got fired.
Wait, fired?
Oh wait, no, I got it
Hold on.
backward.
Wait, what? Fired?
No, I screwed it all up. I'm gonna have to restart it. I
Okay.
was thinking, I just got hired to fight some fires.
That's what it was.
But I'm gonna go in something on the mire. Just got hired to fight these fires. Something, sire.
Well, do you have like words that go there?
No, those
Or
were
is
just
it
placeholder syllables.
So I just got hired to fight
Fight those
some
fires.
fires. I'm gonna find my chief and I'll call him sire.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into like the next bar after that.
Yeah.
So let's do it. I went back too far. I'm sorry. I played the Xbox noise and stuff.
Just got fired.
God damn it. We worked this out. We had this like whole thing that we were rehearsing for the last week. We had this whole new segment.
I promised him a jingle and a graphic.
All right. Well, I think that the fourth time's a charm. They say that, right? That's the saying?
That's the saying.
All right.
Got hired to fight these fires. When I meet my chief, I'ma call him sire.
Then I go and I got a little puppy that was
Gambling.
rescued. And I'm gonna go get
Gambling.
that puppy.
I mean, like,
It's a puppy.
gambling, motorcycle is
Firefighting.
firefighting.
Was it the firefighting, gambling? There's the puppy Ash. The Ash was saved by the cow fire.
Oh yeah, yep.
how
Heroics,
did it go?
rescue work. I just got hired to fight them fires. Gonna meet my chief, gonna call him sire. Then I'm gonna go up on a telephone wire and save that little kitten who's I am no liar.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
that was it.
that's what it was. He was up on the telephone wire. Then he plugged in the phone, the old timey like PG&E phone.
Yeah.
And it was us. And we were talking about how proud we are of him and
Come a
how we're
long way.
happy that he's following
You've
his
come
dreams.
a long way. We're proud of you.
And
you're
that we
doing-
love him.
I think you're doing great.
We do.
I enjoy going to the casino with you and hanging out and talking. It's like old times.
And people used to say like, oh, Matt, why are you his friend? You know, like, isn't he like kind of
I'd always defend him. I'd always be his biggest advocate. I would always be saying, you know what, you've got him all. You've got him a misconception of Matt. He's a good guy. He's a good friend.
Yeah,
I trust him.
And I always didn't like him for no reason. It was always
sure.
just like a stupid old like beef or whatever.
And I've always
and then once we
defended him.
Once we did squash the beef, we were best friends.
The best,
And
yeah. Bosom buddies.
We're only supposed to be friends for 2 years. We had a 2-year time limit.
Yeah, like a lease.
Yeah, and we renewed the lease.
Yep.
And we're friends, and I couldn't be more proud of him, And we had this whole song.
You're doing good, bud. You've got yourself into shape. You've gotten, you lost a lot of weight. You
with
look
the
good.
running.
All the run. Oh
I
man,
can't
and his
run like
diet,
that.
his diet is excellent, man.
Fuck.
Like he eats so much better than I do. Like I eat absolute bullshit.
He does
like,
the thing. He does the thing that like you want to do. You constantly are like, man, I should make more like vegetables.
I mostly
and
just
cook
troll
more."
him because like I'm jealous of his healthy living, and I'm like, oh, like I need to get myself into shape, but like I don't have the willpower or the discipline, the self discipline. So
Yeah.
I'm secretly jealous of him, and honestly, like
because he's killing it. He did it
he
all.
is, yeah,
He did it
exactly.
all.
I'm
he
out
stopped
here.
all the vices. He started exercising.
I'm out here.
started eating right,
I've
he
still
did it
got
all.
I've probably got more vices now. I'm,
Yeah.
like I'm not helping the community with my line of work. I'm, I'm just a humble delivery man, courier, and this guy's over here. He's gonna be doing something really meaningful that's gonna earn him a lot of money. He'll probably get to retire before I will.
Yeah.
He's gonna, yeah.
So
yeah, that's our Mad update for the week.
and we had a song. We had a song that's like a weekly segment where we're gonna do like our updates on Matt. And we're gonna make fun of him.
Yeah,
and
like
shit.
a new set. Is there gonna be a graphic? Are you gonna do the graphic?
Yeah, there's a graphic, and we kind of blew the song, dude. And I'm sorry, buddy.
Let's try this song one more time.
One more time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just got high, fight them fires. Gonna climb up on it, tell him sire. Gonna climb up on the telephone wire. Save that kitten, cause you know I'm no liar.
No liar. No, I'm no liar. Firemen can't lie. They fight fires because I wear the red coat. Do they still wear a red coat? I don't know, but they got a helmet
And they gotta slide down poles.
Sliding down the poles.
Sliding
They
down
slide
poles,
down
and they
poles.
riding those Joels. They're riding those Joels.
Joels. Is that a thing?
Like a
In
Billy
the
Joel.
fireman community?
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel?
Billy Joel is very popular amongst the firefighting community.
Oh. You know what else I'm sure is probably popular amongst the firefighting community because they're all like middle-aged white males is South Park. I'm sure firefighters, you know how they have the room in the firehouse that's all like recliners? Have you ever seen that? Like I don't know if your courier delivery has ever brought you to a firehouse, but when I delivered pizza, that was the thing that I would see a lot. They would order pizza, and in the main room was, flat screen TV at the end. And then the living room was just stacked with lazy boy recliners of the most finest leathers
Oh, wow.
and comfort.
See, I don't know if I want my firemen like just relaxing right before a fire.
Yeah,
I feel
right?
like they should be maybe some
In a
exercise
wooden
equipment,
chair,
like
at
some
least.
treadmills and some weight sets.
Yeah.
And like they're training constantly. Maybe like some like a fire simulation. Like big screen,
Well, I
video
think-
game with like a fake hose where they can practice their craft.
So they're already mid fighting fire
Yeah,
when a fire happens.
Exactly.
That actually probably
If
isn't
you
a bad
stay
idea.
ready, you don't have to get ready.
But then you're going to burn them out. So I think that it's probably akin to like a robot being like how, those robot vacuums, when they're not vacuuming, they're on a charging dock.
yeah. I have a Roomba, and it doesn't do anything besides vacuum when I tell it to.
Yeah, and
When
it's in its
not
charging
and it's downtime,
dock,
it's just laying
chilling.
there. Yep.
So I think that's the same kind of thing for firefighters. And I'm sure that firehouses probably used to have an assortment of couches and chairs, but then it got into this thing where like, oh, this one firefighter thought he was hot shit, so he would take the end of the couch
Yep.
and he'd make you sit in the middle, or he takes the good chair.
Yeah, like the chief gets the like
The
good
throne.
lazy boy, like
Yeah.
the prime seat, and eventually like all the other firemen cried to human resources or whoever they have to report that.
And
stuff to.
all the rookies have to sit on my dick or whatever
Yeah,
firefighters do.
hazing, yeah.
Hazing. So Now they have all the lazy boys.
Just
so
a
everybody
lazy
has
boy
their
for
own
everyone. And every
it's-
time, like, that's why they can't hire so many new firemen, even though we have these crazy fires. It's because, you know, there's a budget to hire these firemen, but there's not a budget for a brand new lazy boy for everybody they hire. So
Yeah.
there's a hiring freeze until we can get them all lazy boys.
Yeah, but hopefully that'll be part of the new stimulus package is like a hiring bonus. You know how like at McDonald's they'll give you an iPhone if you start working there. Yeah.
So if I go to work for McDonald's right now, I get an iPhone?
I don't know if they do it here, but like you have to go to another location. But I'm sure that it'd be easy to get hired there. So you just move to town. But so it's like gonna be the sign-on bonus where you become a fireman, you get the lazy boy. But they're all identical, and anytime that anything happens to them, like say if one guy pops the leg rest up too much and a bolt falls out, they all remove the bolts.
Oh, so like a
'Cause it's a
cigarette burn
brother-
on one? Yep.
Yeah, it's a
We all-
brotherhood. It's
yeah.
a brotherhood. For one, for all, or whatever the Three Musketeers said.
And then there's also the Q, the claw. Woogie, no, woogie, where? Can we say that? Will that get like YouTube? Like, will that get us tripped up in the AI?
Actually. I might have to beep that.
I don't think we can say that on YouTube.
But when these firefighters are chilling back in their lazy boys, I bet they're watching a lot of South Park. I could see that.
Yeah, South Park. I mean, it's a
Playing,
good established show. Everybody likes it.
And South Park just signed one of those weird fucking forever deals that like Rick and Morty did it recently where they were like Rick and Morty came out. Everybody loved it. They said, we're going to, buy another season. And then they bought like 3 seasons. And then after that, they bought 70 episodes for like another 6 seasons or 7 seasons or whatever. Maybe it was 10 seasons.
I feel like they set that up in the pilot with the end of the pilot episode where they're like
100
seasons, 100 seasons Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So, yeah, he called it. And they bought Rick and Morty for whatever. And then now Joe Rogan got bought for $100 million. And then now South Park got bought for $900 million.
Well, see, I feel like this is just an extension because Viacom has always owned Comedy Central. So like it's not like they like sold their show to somebody new. They're just like basically, like renewing their show with
So what
Viacom.
it is that Viacom has their existing deal with South Park, and then South Park has their deal with HBO Max or whatever it is.
Right.
And that's running concurrent to the Viacom deal, and they're both going to run out at the same time. So Viacom pretty much just bought dibs
On the new stuff.
on the next
Yeah,
stuff
so that new stuff's probably not going to be on HBO Max.
and gave them a deal for an untold amount of seasons and then 14 new movies that will be
I
made
feel like
exclusive
that's
for
asking
Paramount
a
Plus.
lot from South Park because like South Park, I mean, they only run a few episodes a year as it is. The quality has been steadily on the decline.
Yeah. But
It just
they're
seems like a
saying
lot of
that-
new content for a show that's like this late in the game.
Because South Park's whole thing this whole time has been they make it immediately and then air it.
Right.
They make it during the week that it airs. So they
Yeah,
have
like
6
within the
days
week,
to
yeah.
make an episode.
Mhm.
And they made a whole documentary on it and shit. But when COVID happens, their whole thing is everybody in the studio for fucking 18-hour days on top of each other. And then they couldn't come in and work. They had to do everything remotely. So that's what led to the pandemic special and the vaccination special, which are like movies.
Yeah, and those were basically the only South Park content we've gotten the past year.
And that's a long form thing that they created and like wrote a script and created a whole like a storyline over months or at least weeks
I mean, like,
instead of days.
yeah, I mean, like, it's cool. I feel like this is no different than like if Fox signed The Simpsons to 20 more seasons or something. It's like you're like, I mean, I guess this is cool, but like, has The Simpsons really been all that?
Or
Like,
when
really?
the Simpsons movie came out, and the Simpsons movie was good. Like,
I mean,
well, yeah, but at the time,
it was okay.
With
Like I
how
was so
the Simpsons
excited about it,
seasons
and I was
were.
like, "There's a Simpsons movie coming out." Like I was all in on it.
yeah.
In retrospect, maybe it wasn't that great, but at the
But
time,
you have a Homer Simpson tattoo. Like you're You're like a diehard actual Simpsons fan, where I'm just like a guy that dipped in and out of Simpsons
Casual
throughout my life.
Simpsons guy, yeah.
Yeah. And then Simpsons movie came out, so I liked it. But it's like if they were to be like, we love it, we're going to sign a deal for The Simpsons to make 12 more movies and an untold number of episodes. Like, it's almost too much to where the show.
I mean, like 14
kinda loses
movies. There's only been like a couple of South Park movies, and like, shouldn't we like maybe do like 4 and see how those ones go, and then like,
because it loses its scarcity after a while. If there's so many different, if everyone's Han Solo, nobody's Han Solo. If every movie's a fucking South Park movie, then it's not special anymore. That's like it's called the vaccination special. So if there's 14 of them, they're not really
it's just
special.
not special anymore. Sure.
Yeah, it's a season. But I was reading this article about how Rick and Morty, the same kind of thing happened when they got that deal. When Rick and Morty got that deal, it kind of like it lost its edge because they didn't really have anything to prove. And now it's like the whole cool thing about Rick and Morty is that they like break these tropes and outdo themselves all the time. And you could only outdo yourself so much, especially when you set like such a bar in the beginning.
Do you feel like Rick and Morty has peaked yet, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Yeah.
I feel
it's
like
still good.
It's still, yeah, it's like a, it's not like a rapid decline, but it's, like they've hit that plateau, and now they're like slowly declining.
What it is for me, it's like a good way that I can describe it is when I was a kid and when I was forced to go to church all the time. And there was 2 moments in my life where I like believed in God. There was like a time when I was really young when I believed in God. And then there was a time when I was like just getting off of drugs where I like kind of believed in God because I felt like that was the thing to do. And then I realized that I didn't. But it's been like a real confusing trip for me. Like I have God tattooed on my arm that I covered up.
Yeah.
And I was the guy with the God tattoo for a while, which was weird.
I don't think I've ever, I remember that. I remember it. I don't think I've ever really like fully gone all in with God, but I remember at one point when I was like probably in like 5th or 6th grade, there was this church that we heard about that supposedly had like a youth group, and they were planning a Six Flags trip.
Ooh.
So me and this other kid from the trailer park I lived in, we're super poor. Like we're like, oh shit, a Six Flags trip. So I remember there was like a month where like we would go to church every Sunday and then go to the youth group that met after it.
Yeah, yeah.
And like tried to participate and tried to worm our way into a Six Flags trip. And I think at like a certain point, like it all just dissolved and there was no Six Flags trip, so we stopped going. But
see, there was definitely
that was my flirtation with religion, was trying to go to Six Flags for free.
There was like a good couple year chunk where I was still going because I was like being dragged there by my family. So I would go there for like the youth group, and like they would have nights with all these like bougie snacks and shit. And the first time I made out with a girl was in a church.
Oh shit.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
And I remember this the other day. I brought it up because we made out, and then she said, I can't believe that we just scammed in a church.
Scammed? I remember that being like popular slang.
Okay, thank you, because nobody else has said that they remember that being slang.
That was mid-90s for sure. That
and
was
I
like
thought that this girl was
like,
just like misinformed and someone told her a bad slang
no,
word.
that was for sure. That was
scamming?
Like, that was like 96.
Okay.
That was like 5th, 6th grade for me.
That actually checks out. That was probably about the same time because I was about 10 probably. But anyway, there was a time, probably around that time or shortly before that, where I believed all the shit that my grandma would tell me. My crazy Christian grandma was like deep into the church. And I believed that like heaven existed and that hell existed, and that if I did something wrong that I would go to hell, and if I lived right, I'd go to heaven, right? And then I like started understanding the concept of eternity, and then I was afraid of heaven because I imagined like going to like a classic heaven where it was like, you're on the clouds.
Boring forever, right?
You could do whatever you want, maybe. But then after so long, like, it's like it never ends.
Yeah, exactly.
And it goes
just
forever, and it never stops ever. And you can never just have rest.
Well, I can put your mind at ease by telling you that there's probably no
Yeah,
afterlife,
yeah,
and when
yeah.
we die, that's the end of it. So
But
enjoy
that's how I feel about Rick and Morty and South Park being renewed for 100 seasons. It's like there's so much coming. I want it to be a little scarce piece of history.
And at a certain point, like at what point is all this new South Park? At what point is that like standing in the way of like the next South Park coming along and getting its limelight?
Yeah, exactly. They're holding the spot.
Like, I mean, how many years is The Simpsons going to take up an hour of Fox's Sunday Night Block or whatever it's on when like I could probably put out a TV show that's way better than The Simpsons in its current state. I have no doubt about that. So, I mean, like, it's a blessing and a curse, I guess, and depending on how you look at it.
So,
we've been blessed or cursed with like 50 years of South Park.
Mm-hmm. So congratulations to South Park.
I mean,
or whatever.
Weren't you guys already rich? Like, I don't know.
But good news is that we got renewed for another 400 episodes after this 600.
So that's going to be 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, 1,000 episodes. So we're going to be going into season 6, which every season is 100 episodes. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, that's every show.
Yeah, every show. And so season 6 is going to be a whole thing. And we just have 4 more seasons that we're promised to do, which is like a sweet spot,
Yeah, what is our deal worth?
Our deal?
Yeah, our deal with Viacom or whoever is buying the show from us.
Like, what's your cut?
Yeah, like what am I going to see on the back end?
Not a lot. Probably not. Probably not
much at all.
anything. Yeah,
Okay.
probably not anything.
Yeah, it's
fractions of pennies, so I'd probably just hold on to it.
Yeah.
Which would probably be best. But
can I at least get it in Bitcoin so maybe it'll go up?
Yeah.
You can pay me like whatever.
What's the smallest amount of Bitcoin you could send
You can buy
someone?
anything. So like say yeah, you can buy like 22 cents worth of Bitcoin, and then like you give it to me, it's either going to come nothing or maybe 40 cents.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay,
for sure. And then so that's going to be cool. That's going to be lucrative for me, and we have our special coming up in like 4 more episodes or something like that. The 600 special.
600 episode special.
We also have an investigation that we've been doing with a private detective in our area, Bob Depperschmidt.
Bob Depperschmidt, sure.
And we have this whole investigation that we want to uncover before we finish this season, which is going to be dope.
There's been some hiccups along the way. Bob Depperschmidt plays by his own rules, so like know, it's impossible to try to what's the word I'm looking for? Micromanage Bob Depperschmidt.
Yeah.
So like maybe Bob Depperschmidt will get that done in 3 weeks. Maybe it's going to be 3 months. Maybe he just goes to TJ and we never see him again. So
yeah, we'll find out. But that's going to be exciting. And then also there was one more thing that I wanted to plug.
We had it all lined up, but I completely forget now.
That's it. Bye.
Natural Habitat Recording.
It's all about Matt.
All about Matt.